Alright, September, what is it? 24th again? Alright, let's get straight into it. Today we're going to check out lithium. Now, this whole sustainable development goal crap, the whole agenda, is based on renewable energies, is what they claim. Now, having experimented for 2 years straight in my work bus, I can tell you that it's all bullshit. Okay, lithium is actually very, very dangerous, and I've had some really good shocking encounters with lithium. Okay, I can literally open up a 3.2 or 3.2 volt renewable battery from any of these smaller small fans that I have and stuff like that, and you could drop a little piece of metal, a little piece of lithium metal. That's what it's made. It's a metal. So you grab that metal and you throw it into some water. That shit'll blow up. Like literally blow up. It'll literally blow the fuck up. All right. Point being, it's supposed to be a big factor within this whole SDG, sustainable technology. Now, let's find out how it's made. Okay, so we have right here in the beginning on Google search, how is lithium made? Most lithium is currently produced in Chile from brines that yield lithium carbonate when treated with sodium carbonate. The metal is produced by electrolysis of molten lithium chloride and potassium chloride. Okay, this one's a dot. It's a periodic table. Royal Society of Chemistry. Uses and properties. History. Atomic data. Oxidation states and isotopes. Supply risk. Pressure and temperature data. Podcast videos. References. Lithium was discovered from a mineral, while other common alkali metals were discovered from plant material. This is thought to explain the origin of the element's name from lithos, Greek for stone. The image is based on an alchemical symbol for stone. Alchemical. A soft silvery metal. It has lowest density of all metals. It reacts vigorously with water. There it is right there. It is dangerous. If you grab some lithium and throw it in water, man, back up. I swear to man, for reals. Have safety goggles on, gloves, everything, for reals. That is no joke. I hope like some crazy idiot doesn't hear all this information and go off and make bombs out of this shit, because it's easy to make a bomb out of this shit. So, the most important use of lithium is in rechargeable batteries for mobile phones, laptops, digital cameras, and electric vehicles. Lithium is also used in non-rechargeable batteries for things like heart pacemakers, toys, and clocks. Lithium metal is made into alloys with aluminum and magnesium, improving their strength and making them lighter. Okay, so lithium has no known biological role. It is toxic, except in very small doses. Now that doesn't make sense. If something is toxic, small doses still is toxic. You just need a little bit more time, more time exposed to it, and it's more exposure to it. That's all that's needed. But it is still toxic. They can't say it is toxic except in very small doses. I think what they meant is it is toxic except in very small doses in a long period of time. Okay, lithium does not occur as a metal in nature, but it is found combined in small amounts in nearly all igneous rocks and in the waters of many mineral springs. Spodumene, petalite, Lepidolite and ablogonite are the most important minerals containing lithium. So basically, this comes all from one country, mainly one country, Chile. I don't know about you guys, but that doesn't sound very sustainable to me. As a matter of fact, it is not sustainable. So, how is lithium created naturally? We'll get into that. We'll watch a video on this right now. Uh, so it's man-made, totally man-made, as we've seen so far. Is it man-made or natural? Lithium is natural occurring mineral, and trace amounts are present in the water many of us drink. Oh, okay. So it's toxic, and it's in our water that many of us drink. I don't know. Isn't that like sustainable development goal number 6 or 7? Clean water? Wow, this is something else. Is lithium mining bad for the environment? Lithium mining destroys the soil structure and leads to unsustainable water table reduction. In the end, it depletes water resources, leaving the land too dry and exposing ecosystems to the risk of extinction. Wow, that's some important scientific information. So basically, they're killing Chile. That's what they're saying right here. Okay? In the end, it depletes water resources, leaving the land too dry and exposing ecosystems to the risk of extinction. How is this sustainable? Okay, so let's check out the goals. SDG goals. The 17 goals. Okay, so here's the 17 goals. So, goal 1, 2, and 3. I mean, the lithium. It was happening in Chile. Then they're mining this. They're mining lithium, and they're leaving everything to the point of extinction. So that violates goal 1, 2, and 3. Goal 4. You gotta be kind of stupid to believe that lithium is some type of savior to this renewable resource, renewable energy problems that we're having. Okay, gender equality. I don't know. I guess that one is excluded. Goal number 6: clean water and sanitation. Goal number 7: affordable and clean energy. How is this affordable? How is it clean? It is not clean at all. It's toxic. Lithium is toxic. Okay, it's destroying the water system. I mean, honestly, like that, none of that makes any sense at all. Let's ask some other questions. This is very interesting information. Let's go back to the lithium tab. Okay, how is lithium mined and processed? Most commercial lithium extraction is from salt flat brines through a process of evaporation and chemical recovery. Lithium is also recovered from lithium-bearing ores such as spodumene through a process that involves crushing, roasting, and acid leaching. Wow. That's some serious science, guys. That is some serious science, yo. Let's see if we could. Look at this idiot touching it. Let me see. I want the video. I'm not trying to read anything right now. I want a video now. I don't know about you guys, but I want to see the video. This sucks. Let me see. Let's check YouTube. not made, mined. There's a difference. See, there's a difference.
Globalization
You have
Partners
to
simplifies
know
international
the differences.
business
It's
by
not how it's
enabling
made,
it to
it's how
hire
it's
teams
mined.
in new countries.
Wow, we're crunching tons of polygons.
Chile is one of the world's leading producers of lithium, the stuff that goes into all of our smartphone, laptop, and electric car batteries. And to see how lithium is pulled from the earth, I went to visit the operations of the mining giant SQM.
Hello Ashley, how you doing? Finally here.
My guide through the mines is Alejandro Bucher. He's a cheerful engineer who has spent years working in the Great Void. When I think of something like a lithium-ion battery in a laptop or even a Tesla with thousands of batteries, it's what, like a spoonful of lithium that would go into those batteries?
If you would say in an iPad or in a cell phone, you could have something like a spoonful. In a car, you could have maybe 10 to 15 kilos of lithium.
It's the nearby Andes Mountains that make these mines possible. Over millions of years, minerals from the mountains leach into the ground. Then they collect together and form huge salt beds, rich in lithium, sulfate, potassium, and boron. Companies like SQM pump water up through the beds and store the mineral-rich liquid in large ponds. From there, it's up to the sun to do its thing and evaporate away the water, leaving the minerals and salt behind. And nowhere evaporates better.
Is that producing any carbon as it evaporates? Is that evaporation affecting the environment? Obviously it would. Now, is it toxic? Yes. Is a toxic chemical now evaporating into the environment? Yes. Wow. This is very sustainable.
Better than Chile.
Now we are heading for the first part of the pond operation.
There's a lot of ponds. Those are pretty.
As this is the first pond, you can see the salts forming in the surface.
You got salt parking spaces. Yeah, it's gotta be crazy because you already have the harsh heat and cold, and then you have all this salt just blowing around everything.
These pickup trucks suffer a lot, but the other equipment, we made them from a special steel that really works good here. And now we're moving to the lithium ponds that are only 2 of the 44 million square meters that we have here.
Did you guys hear that? The vehicles cannot roll through there very long. Sooner or later, the salt eats up through all the metal. That's how toxic this shit is.
This pond, we made it so we can experience what is a lithium brine. When we have it in the big ponds, we cannot sample it. So we made this little pond.
What exactly is this stuff?
This is magnesium chloride. Magnesium chloride is the magnesium that we need to get rid of for being able to produce the lithium in the plant.
Okay.
Yeah. We will only send on the track the liquid.
Just the liquid.
Just the liquid.
Okay, so this is lithium. What are the odds that some part of this is in my smartphone?
I couldn't guarantee it, but it's pretty sure that almost 100% sure that part of your smartphone went through this pond at some point in the past.
At some point. This is smartphone juice.
Yeah.
I like that smartphone juice.
You guys must be excited that Teslas are selling well and that everybody's getting into electric cars now.
It's very interesting, but it puts a lot of pressure on us. So we will more than double our capacity probably in 4 years.
Chile may have the largest lithium deposits in the world, but it started to fall behind countries like Australia and China when it comes to production. And in China, it's a one-stop shop with the mining and battery production happening together. This is a leap Chilean companies have been unwilling to take. Maybe you could make the batteries here in Chile.
Well, for me it would be excellent, but the company, we're experts in hydrogeology, we're experts in mining, we're experts in producing lithium. If we put us to produce batteries, we're probably not going to do it well.
They're scared of it.
Things have been extra tense lately between the mines and the Chilean government. The feds have put strict quotas on lithium production, and they've also been trying to act tough and save face after some politicos were accused of taking bribes from the mines. Environmentalists aren't huge fans of the mines either. They say that water is being sucked from nearby lagoons that feed these flocks of stunning flamingos.
What we do here has absolutely no impact to the flamingos, but we're still responsible for what's happening with them. We need to do counting of the flamingos every year. They identify them by the feathers on the tail, so they can differentiate every flamingo.
Ridiculous.
The miners here work for a week and then take a week off.
Did you guys hear that? They count the fucking flamingos. They're counting nature. Are they gonna start counting the trees? They're gonna start counting the birds and the bees? Well, fuck yeah, they're counting the birds. Flamingos are birds. Jeez, this is ridiculous.
Off because of the dry, hot, salty conditions. But there are some on-the-job perks.
The sunsets here are every day amazing. You have all these different colors that only women know, the names, every day, and you don't get tired of that. It's really beautiful.
Alejandro has a point. Not so much about the colors that only women apparently know, but about the beauty of the mines. These odd marvels make the modern world run. Let Tesla's flamingo breeding program begin.
Okay, so that was horrible. Let's ask another question. How is lithium recycled? We've run across a problem. The biggest problem. No, we were trying to do a video. Lithium ion battery solution. You need solutions for a problem. Lithium ion recycling. So, most commonly, lithium batteries are recycled in large plants by a process of shredding the whole battery down to a powder. The powder is then either smelted, pyrometallurgy, or dissolved in acid, hydrometallurgy, thereby extracting individual elements for resale. How much of a lithium ion battery can be recycled? On average, about 50% of a lithium ion battery can be recycled in an effective way. Unfortunately, this means that a considerable amount of materials in it have to be safely stored in a permanent way. Okay, so how is lithium thrown away? So Li-ion batteries, are those containing electronic devices should therefore be recycled as certified battery electronic recyclers accept batteries, rather than being thrown in the trash. Obviously, we don't want people throwing these in the trash, because if water gets on in somehow onto those, we could have a big, large fire. It doesn't matter where, and you can't turn these fires off easily. So if there's a big lithium fire in a dumpster, or a big, trash container, or wherever the trash is being moved or transported or stored, that's gonna be a big problem. Um, let's see this one. It's time to get serious about recycling lithium-ion batteries. A projected surge in electric vehicles sales means that researchers must think about conserving natural. Well, we've already established the recycling. It's like how do you dispose of? And I don't want to hear like, oh yeah, it's in a recycling plant. But okay, but then what? Like, where does it go from the recycling plant? So there are so many products that use lithium-ion batteries on the market today: vape pens, phones, laptops, power tools, and much more. Are there any battery recycling programs? Are batteries hazardous waste? Is it okay to throw batteries in the garbage? As a consumer, it's important to know how to dispose of lithium-ion batteries properly. Lithium-ion batteries disposal hazard. There has been a 20% increase in fires at waste facilities across. I was just talking about that across the U.S. and Canada in recent years. It is estimated that 40% of waste at recycling facilities in the U.S. have been affected by fires in a given year. So these fires can often devastate the system of recycling goods, even close down an entire recycling plant for good. It is often thought that hazardous waste such as lithium-ion batteries can be the cause. So how do we dispose of lithium-ion batteries safely? Are lithium-ion batteries actually hazardous waste? Absolutely. Lithium-ion batteries are definitely hazardous waste. After a battery is no longer usable because it seems that it will no longer hold a charge, it's time to get rid of it. Photo by CDC of unsplash of a laboratory technician working with vape pens containing lithium ion. Sure. But when we might believe a battery is dead because it stops working, there's actually still plenty of hazardous material left behind. For example, a lithium-ion battery can still hold 80% of its thermal capacity after it is done. So things like phone batteries and even small vape pens are potentially ready to combust. For real, this shit blows up, guys. Not only do batteries carry an immediate risk of fire if disposed improperly, they also hold many long-term risks because they carry many toxic substances that when crushed will leak into the ground and contaminate our water. Okay. What happens if you throw it away? Every battery carries the potential of fire or combustion. Once items are put onto the truck, no matter what it is most likely to be compacted. Imagine a few batteries being smashed and leaking fluid. So we've already went over this. What can we do about how disposal? Okay, find a drop off. We all know this. See, they just stopped right there. Most lithium batteries end up in a landfill. A new bill aims to change that. So the lithium batteries are ending up in the landfill, which still ends up leaking into the water. That's obvious. Okay, so lithium's battery is big as BBC.com, Future Planet. We're gonna look at some globalization shit right here. Get off. As the world looks to electrify vehicles and store renewable power, one giant challenge looms. What will happen to all the old lithium batteries? Thank you. Simple question. As the quiet whir of electric vehicles gradually replaces the revs and noxious fumes of internal combustion engines, a number of changes are set to filter through our familiar world. The overpowering smell of gas stations will fade away into odorless charge stations where cars can reduce their batteries as needed. Meanwhile, gas-powered generator sites that dot the horizon may be retrofitted to house massive batteries that can one day power cities with renewable energy. And this was something I explained a long time ago, that the gas stations were extinct. They're going extinct, and a lot of people were like, that doesn't make sense. But this is totally true. I didn't think about the whole lithium aspect of it. I thought about this because of the petrodollar system attack. All of this is an attack on the petrodollar system. When they start talking about renewable energies and fossil fuels, basically they're just saying they don't want to use petrol to make dollar bills anymore. And that's affecting us Americans, because the petro dollar systems are based in American dollars. We get cheap products, they get dollar bills, Saudis give them oil. Real simple transaction, and then the military gets their cut for being the watchdog, for being the guard on duty, for being the hitman and all that other shit, for being security basically. Okay, so going back to this article, the electrified future is much closer than you might think. GM announced earlier this year that it plans to stop selling gas-powered vehicles by 2035. Audi's goal is to stop producing them by 2033. And many other major auto companies are following suit. So we see that the gas-powered vehicle is also going extinct, as is the gas station. They go hand in hand, obviously, evidently. So that's not what we care about. Okay, but as demand for EV escalates and is projected to, the impetus to recycle more of them is set to barrel through the battery and motor vehicle industry. The current shortcomings in lead battery recycling isn't the only reason they are an environmental strain. Basically, here's what I'm getting, guys. Because there's no answer. There's no like, where do they end up? We already seen that it says most of it ends up in the landfills. Okay? I'm pretty sure they try to recycle some of it. But I'm pretty sure people are so ignorant about this. They're just throwing cell phones and laptops just into the trash can. In Chile's Atacama salt flats, lithium mining has been linked to declining vegetation, hotter daytime temperatures, and increasing drought conditions in natural reserve areas. So even though EVs may help reduce carbon dioxide emissions over their lifetime, the battery that powers them starts its life laden with a large environmental footprint. So it's basically a scam. There's no difference between destroying everything for petrol as to destroying everything for lithium. So as we see right here, this is not sustainable, and this is us reading their own mainstream media posts that they're posting, their web pages, and we could go over and over. There's no clean cut answer. What happens to these fucking batteries? How recycling is a big issue. So, but disassembling lead batteries is currently being done predominantly by hand in lab settings, which will need to change if direct recycling is to compete with more traditional. Wow, that is dangerous as hell. In the future, there will need to be more technology in disassembly, says Abbott. If a battery is assembled using robots, it is logical that it needs to be disassembled in the same way. Yes, obviously. It's toxic. What do you mean you're putting people to disassemble these things? It's toxic. Not only, that's why it's ending up in the landfill. No one wants to touch these things. Okay, let's say that they do isolate. They start a big program and everyone ends up following suit. And they start isolating the lithium. Then what? Now you got concentrated amounts of lithium that you have to try and store somewhere where you're scared that water will get. What are you going to do? Put lithium underground somewhere in some desert. Somehow one day it rains and all the water hits that lithium? That would be catastrophic. A landfill with concentrated amounts of lithium and a rainstorm. Oh my God, this is horrible. I'm sorry, guys, but this right here, this is called Future Planet. This is the article we're reading. Future Planet. This is the future. Holy shit! And America's falling apart over this shit. Oh my goodness! Wow, this is hilarious. Degradable batteries. Some scientists are advocating for a move away from light batteries in favor of ones that can be produced and broken down in more eco-friendly ways. So they're admitting, they're like, okay, we're headed in the wrong direction already. We need to change everything as of right now. But the corporations are already in motion. They're not going to stop doing what once corporations have their profits are in question. They're gonna do what it takes to get their profits. They don't stop. They're like, oops, we're sorry. Okay, they're gonna go and produce all this. Then they're gonna create litigation for the future, where people will be like compensated because their loved ones got burnt up, or or an entire town ended up with some illness, some type of physical ailment because of this lithium that somehow leaked into into the water system, the ecosystem. This is really bad, guys. All right. Okay. Many batteries today are not recycled because of the associated energy and labor costs. They're like never mind the fact that they're toxic. And people will die from touching this shit. Never mind all that, Oh no. It's because of the associated energy and labor costs. Yeah, right. Batteries that degrade on command may simplify or lower the barrier to recycling. Eventually, these degradation products could be reconstituted back into a fresh new battery, closing the material's life cycle loop. It's a fair argument considering that even when a light battery is dismantled and its parts are refurbished, there will still be some parts that can't be saved and become waste. A degradable battery like the one Latucan's Haas team, I probably slaughtered that name, working on could be more sustainable power source. Okay, so now they're going to start talking about orbs. I'm not going to get into the orbs. That's like, oh no, we messed up with this whole lithium shit. Let's make orbs now. And they're going to jump onto something new that they haven't also not tested. Okay, so pretty much widely adopting standardized methods for recycling light batteries that include sorting streams for the different types will get them a big step closer. Meanwhile, using AI technology to refurbish the most useful parts, such as the cathode, could help countries with small supplies of light batteries components to not have to rely so much on China. Here we go with the politics. So basically, we could see that, and here we go. Here, and in about 2025, when millions of EV batteries reach the end of their initial life cycles, a streamlined recycling process will look much more appealing to economies the world over. So perhaps by the time EVs become the predominant form of transport, there will be a good chance their batteries will be gearing up for a second life. Okay, so what they're saying is this: when they started making these vehicles and they started releasing them on a certain year, 2025 is the first year that all these vehicles batteries are gonna come to an end. They're gonna be like that everything has a life cycle. All electronic devices have a life cycle, just like all electrical oriented life beings, meaning us humans, and all life in general. And so we see that by 2025, there's going to be a surge of dead batteries that they're going to have to somehow deal with, that they don't have a plan for yet, that is causing really bad problems as of right now. Okay? Future planet. You guys even science, bro?